Hello students, welcome. Today we will learn about substitute goods and complementary goods. So let's start. Well, it is a topic students come across while studying the chapter demand in microeconomics, and it is a really very easy concept and can be observed in everyday life. So let's start with substitute goods. Well, the name itself suggests that the goods are substitutable with one another. In other words, substitute goods are those goods which can be used in place of one another to satisfy the same need. We will obviously take an example to understand the substitute goods. Let's take the world renowned example of tea and coffee. Tea and coffee are both beverages. So, a rise in price of one would cause a rise in demand for the other commodity. Let us understand in this way. We will take price of tea as P subscript T and price of coffee as P subscript C. Quantity demanded for tea as Q subscript T and quantity demanded for coffee as Q subscript C. So, if price of tea rises, quantity demanded for tea will fall. But on the other hand, quantity demanded for coffee will rise. Now, if price of tea falls, then quantity demanded for tea will rise. On the other hand, quantity demanded for coffee will fall. So here we will understand it with help of a diagram. Here we have taken price of tea on the vertical axis and quantity demanded for coffee on the horizontal axis. Now, if price of tea rises, the quantity demanded for coffee will rise and quantity demanded for tea will fall. But if the price of tea falls, quantity demanded for coffee will fall and demand for tea will rise. The above diagram is shown just to make the concept easy and clear. Now we will understand complementary goods. So, what are complementary goods? Complementary goods are the goods or products that are consumed together. Here also, we will take an example to understand the complementary goods. We will take the example of car and petrol. You know, it is a well-known example for everyone. We know that car needs petrol or any other fuel to drive it. But for sake of simplicity, let us assume petrol is used in car for driving. So, if the price of petrol rises, people tend towards public transportation, that is, the demand for cars will eventually fall. Let us understand in another way. Let the price of petrol be PL and the demand for car be DC. Then, if the price of petrol rises, then the demand for cars, which is DC, will fall. And again, if the price of petrol falls, the demand for cars rises. We can also understand it with the help of a diagram. Here in this diagram, we have taken price of petrol in the vertical axis and demand for cars in the horizontal axis. Here, if the price of petrol rises, the demand for cars would fall, and if the price of petrol falls, the demand for cars would rise. Thus, we can see these type of goods every now and then in our lives, and we take decisions for purchasing those goods based on their prices. Hope you all have understood today's topic. If yes, drop a like.